first of all, I get it. I file the end completely flat, just squared to all the sides. Just start off with that. Just take that corner off, and take that corner off. You can barely see it, but that will enable it to just match the curvature of that inside edge. So there's no real sexy way of doing this. I've just simply put a black mark on there with a marker pen. I'm just going to hold it over the top. Scratch a little line there. I'm going to cut it off. Cut it off where it's definitely too long and then file it back to fit. Right, I'm expecting. Let's do the same again, just take the corners off. Gonna hold it in a pair of pliers. Try and wedge that in. No, a little bit too long. Anyway, I think you get the point, adjust it, get it just right. You want it just the length where you've got to wedge it in. If it's just flopping about in there, that's no good, or it's just falling through, no good. It's got to be tight. Okay, right, I've got it. I had to put that down and adjust it 4 times. So that now is tight. So I can wedge in there and make sure it goes right across the middle, make sure it lines up nicely with the claws. Either you might decide to go claw to claw, I'm going in between mine. Just make sure it's sat nicely and doing its job. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I've done up close. Can you see how it fits in there? That's rounded off the ends just ever so slightly, so it just fits nice and snug on that inner edge. If that was just straight across, it'd be a bit gappy. There'd be sort of space for the solder would need to fill up. So now those are tight, rounded off, so they're nice and tight, so there's not going to be a line after I solder it in and polish it flat and stuff. And it also sticks up because this is a little bit overly chunky, so I was thinking about that. Just getting it parallel with the underside or the inside side of the under bezel, and then that bit can stick up. Great, that just helps me out with soldering it, and I just file it flat afterwards. And that'll be a really strong bar in there. Help yourself avoid accidentally reflooding previous solder joins by only fluxing the spot where you want solder to flood this time. I'm going to flux both ends, but doesn't necessarily mean I'll do both in one go. So yeah, I'm going on and on about this part having to be really strong, but that doesn't mean blobbing a load of solder on. That just means making the piece fit correctly and then use a small, normal amount of solder. There we go, there we go. I'm not just looking on top, I'm looking down the sides of that bar, making sure that's flooded all the way around. Gotta carefully file that flat now. Even these relatively simple, straightforward stages of making things, like just file that flat, still will go really slowly and carefully, because if you tilt the file wrong angle all of a sudden, you damage your under bezel. Okay, so now what do we have? We have a 4-claw gate collet with a little bar going across the back. Now we're ready to put the post on.